Chris, and I am joined by our tamed golf pro, Ricky Trevino. Ricky, say hi.
Hello. It's
I
got to
sent
be
you.
every week that you give me, so I'm good with that one. I
I
like it.
like I like
When we
Ricky
start,
Trevino.
yeah, you're gonna start calling or saying custom fit.
I will.
Yeah, I can handle that. I like that saying.
When is the orange
I don't have any orange though,
apparent?
so
So you were talking about getting us a sponsorship from Whataburger.
yeah, that would be
Now,
pretty good. It would go against
I,
what we're going to talk about today, but it would be pretty
I
cool.
well, yeah, I tried to go to Whataburger yesterday, and they were doing a renovation. And I have to say, all Whataburgers, for the most part, that I've been to lately, are really nice. They're like cleaner, they're newer, they have better quality food than any other fast food joint out there. So if you are in a position of power at Whataburger and you're hearing this podcast,
I'll
you know
send him
how
the
to
link.
you know
Yeah.
how to find me.
Yeah. So one of my good friends here in San Antonio is VP of franchising for Whataburger. So Joe, if you're listening, yeah, put us on the corporate sponsorship list.
Well, let's do that. I mean, I would go out there with an orange Whataburger golf bag. Not that they're going to get any business from that, but
I will say that orange is his favorite color.
well, of course, it's what feeds the family, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So I think
Whataburger orange.
yeah, and Whataburger coupons in San Antonio, it's like equivalent to cash.
So I don't understand why Tiger never got into the Whataburger. I mean, Waffle House is just greasy. I don't think it's that good.
I like a waffle, just plain waffle from Waffle House. That's not greasy.
Yeah, true. But
I mean,
I
I'm
just
gonna
don't
probably
understand
make
like
it
why you
greasy
would
with
go
it.
to Waffle House over delicious Whataburger. And again, if you're out there, you work for Whataburger in a position of power, contact Ricky Trevino at golfaggressive.com and he will hook you up. So
Yeah,
today's podcast, Rich, is about just being in shape. And I'm not talking about you don't have to look like these guys on tour that are just muscled up and really lean and good, strong cores. I'm just talking about being in average, good shape because I don't think a majority of the golfers are even close to being in decent shape.
yeah. So it's like we ask them to do certain positions or certain moves with their swing, but because they're physically unable to do it, that's the dilemma we run into. So
Yeah, if you're overly tight in your shoulders, you're not going to be able to get a full backswing. You know, if you have trouble with your hips, you're not going to be able to get a good hip turn, and you're probably going to have low back pain along
yeah,
with that.
yeah. And I know that's I mean, our backstory is we started Get Go Fit, where it was just focused with workouts. And yes, that alone can better your golf, but we found that you really need to be working on all aspects of your golf game, not just from a fitness element. So yes, fitness is a precursor to what we do in our challenges now, but it's not just fitness. So you need to be working on everything. So now it comes into that point where if you come into our membership area and are a few pounds overweight, we do recommend you doing one of our weight loss challenges. So on Monday, Monday or Tuesday next week, we will have the Shed Pounds to Shave Strokes program within the members area.
Yeah,
Um,
that's going to be dropped in there. And
yeah,
another thing is, if you're already working out, why would you not do a golf specific workout? I mean, you're going to improve your golf game. You're going to improve your health. I mean, it's two birds with one stone. It's just a good maximization of time.
yeah.
And
And touching on that, it's one of those things where I'm not. I'd rather go practice at the golf course than go to the gym for a couple of hours. But if I am doing golf specific workouts in a short period of time that I know are going to benefit my practice or my golf game, mentally, I'm more inclined to do it versus if I'm just going to go to the gym to bulk up and or go do an hour on a cardio machine. So if I know that I'm doing a specific workout that's going to better my golf game, uh, longevity, I'm more inclined to do it on a regular basis because that's what it comes down to, is doing something, especially workout wise, over a long period of time.
Well, I mean, you have to enjoy what you're doing. So if you don't enjoy the workouts, you're probably not going to do them. It has always been my thing. But another myth that's been busted recently by a lot of fitness gurus is time. We've all been brainwashed by the awesome marketing of the P90X people back in the day when they would give you this really intense, difficult workout, and it'd take you an hour to do it. I mean, how many of you guys started that and then quit it in like 2 weeks, a month?
I know everyone I talked to did.
You know what I'm saying? So what's the point of that? I mean, you're not doing anything. You quit. But the revelation that people have made, it's not time, it's intensity. And intensity can be many different things. It can be the amount of weight you lift. So if you're going to do 10 dumbbell curls at 10 pounds, I could probably do those for 2 hours straight. But if you put on 65 pounds, I might be able to do 15 at the most. So that's intensity. You're taking up the intensity, which requires less time. And the same thing with your cardio work. The Tabata training, the HIIT training is much more efficient than the steady state cardio. And we're talking about jogging. We're talking about the elliptical machines, things like that, where to burn any sort of calories, you have to be going at it for an hour. But I mean, I've got a research report right here, Rich, that disproves the effectiveness of cardio. And basically it said an American research study found that 300 hours of cardio per year helped men and women lose an average of just 5 pounds. So you're going to go into the gym and you're going to do 300 hours of cardio and you're going to lose 5 pounds. That's from Obesity Magazine. We'll have all of these references up so you can verify them for yourself. So that would take over 50 hours, a full work week of cardio just to lose 1 pound. And basically, that's crazy. I mean, that's a waste of damn time.
Yeah, and I think it's the brainwash mentality, because I mean I've been down that road. I've done that whole, used to do an hour on an elliptical machine. I enjoyed it, but the outcome for me was I ended up getting a mild case of plantar fasciitis because of it.
Yeah, and you didn't believe me till that happened. But it's saying you're gonna get an overuse injury, Rich. No, I'm not. Well, I'm not. And you got one.
And I should have known this because I remember when I was in college and I worked in the fitness center, and I see this girl come in for an hour every single day for an entire year, and
she looked the same, I bet.
Did not change one bit. And that's all.
That's the eye test, Rich.
Yeah.
It always comes down to the eye test, and I challenge you guys, just walk through your gym, and I want you to look at the two different areas. There's many different areas in a gym today, the modern gym. You're going to have your cardio area, you're going to have your weight area, and you're probably going to have like a functional fitness area. And I want you to look at the body types. There's going to be people on the cardio machines that are there day after day after day, and they look kind of skinny fat. They might even be overweight. But just keep an eye on them, see what happens over the course of 6 months to a year. They're going to look the same. Then I want you to look at the guys in the weight area and look at them. They're probably going to be muscled up more than average, and they might even grow over that same amount of time. But they're going to have muscles. People that do that, they're going to have muscles. Then I want you to look at the functional fitness area, and it's kind of a blend between the cardio heavy people and then the meatheads. And that's that body type is what you want. You want that more athletic body type where you're not carrying too much muscle, because that can be bad for you too. But you don't want to be carrying too much fat either. You kind of want a little happy balance there to where you just have an athletic look. So I call that the eye test. You can go into any gym, just pay attention to what people look like. I mean, there's your answer of the proper types of workouts that you should be doing. So back to this cardio hating that we're on. It's not that we hate cardio. I like to be able to run 2 miles just because if I have to, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So if Ricky Trevino loses to me at putting, which is very highly likely unless I've had scotch, and he doesn't want to pay up, he might try to get me. So I need to be able to run a long distance. So I just personally, I like to be able to run 2 miles just in case you have to have it. But cardio is an incredible waste of time, and you don't need to do long bouts of cardio if you want to shed fat and you want to build your endurance. In fact, short burst, high interval training or Tabata training is the best for burning fat and building endurance.
Yeah. So we did the flat belly challenge earlier this year, and we'll drop that into the members area in the next month or two in the off season. But
yeah, I think we're going to change the name of that, and that's probably going to be some kind of an off season program, but we'll base it on that.
Yeah. So whenever most of the golfers are snowed in or bad weather, it'll be when we'll drop that in. But we do have the interval cardio session in there, and that's really where I went from that whole I've got to do 45 to 60 minutes on the elliptical in order to lose any weight, and to now it's 20 minutes and I'm pretty much done, but I am giving it everything. It's a what's the ratio? I think it's we
start out at 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Warm up at like we're talking about minutes. A scale here. 10 is the highest that you can possibly go, and it's impossible to maintain for more than 20 seconds, I would say. Just all out is a 10. So we warm you up, and I don't remember the ratios, 3 out of 10.
It was the first 4, because I still do it every day. So it's 4 minutes of warm up. You'll do 3 minutes at your base rate, basically your steady flow. You do a minute of just slightly increased just to get it going a little bit. Then you'll hit it hard for 30 seconds. So for 30 seconds, and the ratio is, I mean, if in the flat belly,
it depends on your ability and your conditioning. So if you're just starting out, we're not going to ask you to go 8 out of 10. You'll be doing a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10.
Right. And then progress over that. So with for elliptical or treadmill, you can do incline and resistance. So it's adjusting those, but also looking at your RPM rate to see, okay, this is because I have a goal. It's if I've left the incline at a steady, I think it's like it's like a 35 out of 50 incline. My RPM, I want it in that 30-second burst has to be between 80 to 85. And I'll do that for 30 seconds.
You're talking about your machine, but we're basing this on your personal exertion level, not like your spin bike or your elliptical machine or your treadmill. And that's the other thing. What Rich is talking about is a formula that I've created, and it's 20 minutes and you're done.
And so it's 20 minutes that I get more out of than I did when I did 45 minutes of just with the elliptical kind of just going at the same pace.
How many years did it take for you to finally be convinced? I told you for a long time this was a better way.
5 or 6, maybe.
You fought it. And I learned this from Craig, one of my good friends. So let's talk a little bit about why the extended cardio doesn't work. And, I've talked to a lot of personal trainers about this. And I mean, you get this mentality of okay, so I've worked out an hour. I am allowed to eat more.
I can have an
So
ice cream after it.
yeah, so I've got 4 things on here that why cardio doesn't work. Long extended cardio doesn't work. Number one, cardio causes some people to eat more. Number two, cardio decreases your metabolism at rest. Number three, cardio burns muscle, another reason your metabolism decreases. And four, cardio makes you lazier and less active over the rest of the day. And I think these are a lot of these are mental, other than the muscle being cannibalized. And again, we'll have the obesity reviews references up here, so you can look up these research studies on your own. So another one that's pretty serious, and I think we're seeing a little bit of this with these professional wrestlers dying at such a young age. Now, if you think about what they do, that's pretty intense cardio with no breaks. So they do this year after year after year. And there's a research study from the Mayo Clinic Hospital that they concluded that too much cardio can cause heart damage. And that's from the Mayo Clinic proceedings. The lead cardiologist from the study said, when people come to me and they say they want to run a marathon, I say, okay, do one and cross it off your bucket list. And then let's focus on an exercise pattern that's more ideal to producing long-term health benefits and improving your longevity. So basically what he's saying there is you're going to kill yourself because that's not a good way of exercising.
Well, I did that. I mean,
running.
Yeah, I mean, I did a half marathon and I trained for, I don't know, like months before. And I didn't lose a single pound. If anything, I think I put on a few pounds. And
I remember you telling me that. I think
running
you were
every
eating
single
more.
day.
Were you eating more?
I don't think I was eating more. It just wasn't, I'm just.
Let me rephrase that. Did you think you could eat more because you were doing all this work?
I think period that goes for any type of workout that I do. I think that mentality, you've just got to overcome it. But I think you can say that on any type of workout that you do, whether it be long or short. Even if I was just to go in the gym, knock out a couple of bench presses, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I've worked out today. I might go eat a cake or something. I think you can use that as an excuse on any type of workout. What I found the problem is what we go to with interval training. Interval training, short burst, but it spikes the heart rate, and that is proven to speed up the metabolism, and you lose weight faster. With training for that half marathon, my goal is just to get X amount of miles in. And in order for me to do that, I have to do it at a slow pace. I really wasn't going for time. And so progressively, I tried to get a little faster. And I think if I was to do another one, which never will happen, I would look to beat my time. But yeah, so I'm just doing these daily routines of running, 3 to 5 to 6, 7 miles. But I'm just doing it at a steady pace where my heart rate is just staying the same. I'm really not even breaking up a sweat. So I think that was the root cause of it.
Yeah, if you just constantly beat up your muscles with weights, it's going to break down your muscle. It's not going to give it time to recover and improve. So you watch these bodybuilders whenever they do a set, and then they rest for 3 minutes. And they're allowing the muscle to recover, and then they go back and they stress it again. And what happens is the muscle gets stronger. But I think with your heart, yeah, it's going to get stronger with this, but apparently it's doing some damage to it also. So that's the Mayo Clinic study. But, we've got another one here that kind of proves what we've been doing and what our members have been seeing for a while. And it's from the Journal of Applied Physiology and Nutrition and Metabolism. And basically they had two groups. They had a group A and a group B. And it was two groups of college-age women, and they did 4 workouts per week for 4 weeks. So group A ran for 30 minutes at 85% max heart rate. That's pretty damn hard. I don't know that I could pull that off.
I can do that.
So that's a pretty difficult run for 30 minutes. So you imagine that in your mind. Would you do that every day? Probably not. You'd become adverse to it and not want to do it. So Group B did 8 rounds of 20 seconds of a single body weight exercise. And that was burpees, jumping jacks, mountain climbers, or squat thrusts with 10 seconds of rest between rounds, which that's the Tabata method that everybody does. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people nowadays. So both training groups increased their aerobic fitness levels by the same amount. And it says here that was roughly 7 to 8%. So the short body weight workouts, which were not running, work just as well as going out there and busting your ass running for 30 minutes straight. That's pretty crazy to me. I mean, that's a much more efficient use of time, and I think it's much more enjoyable. And not only that, you're working out different muscles in your body. Looks like they had a pretty well-rounded workout there. But the Group B, the people that did the workouts, it says in here they increased their muscular endurance in common exercises like chest press, leg extensions, sit-ups, and push-ups. And then, you know, what we were just talking about, it would be a real pain in the ass to go out there and run for 30 minutes at 85%. 85%.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you could do that every day.
That's almost a sprint for some people. I mean, it's to get it up to 85 and maintain it.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
And how enjoyable would that be to do every day?
Yeah, I might tell you I did it, but really I didn't.
Nobody's gonna do that.
I'll cut back from 2 cakes a day to 1 just to say that I did it, and then
so getting the same improvement with aerobic fitness, you're getting better with increased muscular endurance, and you're enjoying it more. I mean, what's the big deal?
Yeah. So we should put it out there. I mean, see people, because people like running. So if that's
challenge.
What they want, yeah, let's do a little challenge. So from starting Monday, you know, do your running only, and then report back to us after a week, and then we'll have another session because we'll put a link to this workout, right?
Yeah. So that workout, it says here, was 4 minutes that they did.
Are you serious? I can do that.
4 minutes.
Yeah, I like that. How about you do the running for 85%?
I'll be dead.
A week.
That'll kill me.
I'll do the workout. I think that's a good trade.
You're trying to kill me, Rich. No, and a lot of we'll leave cardio there. We do all of our workouts based on this interval training because I have found that endurance-wise, it's much better. You know, everybody that does our membership program, they're very, very busy guys. You know, they work hard. They don't have a lot of time to even play golf. So time efficiency it needs to be maximized. So that's how we design all of our workouts. We have, we want you to get stronger. So we use weights for the most part. And Rich, why don't you talk about that? Because you used to be into this body weight thing and kind of doing the same weights over and over again.
Yeah, I remember when we did, and it goes back to when we did the flat belly golfer challenge. So the one thing you told me is just always increase your weights. So I set a goal was every week I would increase all the weights.
You need to increase your weight, or you need to increase your time under tension, or you need to increase your rep count.
Yeah. So every Monday when I started the workout, everything across the board. So if I was doing Arnold press or bench press or wood chops with a dumbbell, any workout that I did that involved a weight of some form, I would increase it. So I got to the point to where my Bowflex, the dumbbell weights, which is like 52.5 pounds each, I was maxing it out on a lot of workouts. So one, it kept me interested. Two, I see the progress because each week I'm increasing. There were some body weight movements that I could see. Like I could see I was, gaining more endurance when it comes to push-ups. I've always had a wrist issue, so it's been something that I was very careful of, but I also didn't want to max out with push-ups because I knew it would play with my wrist. So, but gradually over time, I could see the number of push-ups I would do would increase. The big one for me was the cross crawl, where you're standing up and you're lifting a knee to your left knee to your right shoulder, and then your right knee to your left shoulder. When I first started, I'm like not even touching, and so now I'm to a point where they're both like interlocking in some ways. So from a visual perspective, I could see just from workouts that didn't have weights how much I'm bringing things together. Say if I couldn't reach a certain movement, how much they're getting closer each week. So
yeah, and I mean that goes back to some of these other workouts that we were talking about that are an hour long. I love Tony Horton, and he's very cutting edge, and P90X back in the day was cutting edge, I think. But as we've gotten more of this research, we're learning that doing 80 bazillion pull-ups is not maybe the best idea. And not only that, as a golfer, I'll just put it out there. If you don't know how to properly do a pull-up, and there is a proper way to do them, and they don't teach you the proper way on P90X, I hate to tell you. But if you're just banging out pull-up after pull-up like that, you're going to have some elbow issues. And I've suffered that myself. And it took me a lot of studying and speaking to experts. And I have some friends that are exercise injury experts like Rick Caselge. And, they were telling me, you're doing pull-ups wrong. You weigh too much right now. You shouldn't be doing pull-ups until you lose some weight. That would be like a bodybuilder going in, and like what you're talking about. You're going in and you're working low to high. So you're working at a weight, and then you're building your muscle, and you're going up. But when you weigh a lot, and then you're going and doing pull-ups, it's like the opposite effect, right?
Yeah. It's like going to the driving range, no warm-up and hitting your driver first.
Yeah, I mean, they do have these pull-up band assists, and I think everybody should be able to do at least 5 pull-ups. But let's be honest and not get too crazy over them. And so you can get overuse injuries by doing body weight things just as easily as you can doing the cardio. So we just need to be smart, and we control that with programming, and we reduce the amount of time that we put our bodies in certain positions. So when you do something too much, you can actually hurt yourself. And it's funny that we're talking about pull-ups, because that's where I got Greasing the Groove from, which is one of our proprietary training methods, was from the Russian Spetsnaz. They did not go and do Tony Horton style pull-ups. They would put a pull-up bar in their training facility. When they would walk in the door, they do 1 pull-up. When they walk out the door, they do 1 pull-up. If they come back in the door, they do a pull-up. Just 1. That's it. And what they discovered was somehow the brain learns how to become more efficient with your muscles, and they can just bang out pull-up after pull-up if they have to. So, I mean, that's where we came up with the Greasing the Groove that we use in all of our challenges. So I just want to caution you guys, just because it's longer, just because it's harder, doesn't mean it's better. I mean, it could just be the dumb way of doing things. And
I think that's one reason why I like your workouts, is that you don't have pull-ups in them. Because I absolutely hate pull-ups. And
the reason that I don't is, and I personally do pull-ups, but the reason that I don't put them in there is because I've had elbow issues from pull-ups.
Yeah, that's the reason why I hate it. Is that, I mean, every time I've done it, I've pulled something within shoulder to arm muscles that I'm like out for 2-3 weeks. So
Like a lot of CrossFit guys, they do. It's not even really a pull up. I think they call it a kipping pull up. So when they do that, they're kind of eliminating the problem area, which is the dead hang. If you are doing the dead hang pull up, you're crazy because you're going to hurt yourself. That's not how you do it anymore. And I guess I could write an article on how to do a proper pull up. I won't get into it here. I just don't put them into our
step 1, lose 50 pounds. Step 2.
Yeah, I mean you can't do it from a dead hang. So the CrossFit guys actually do it a better way with their little kipping pull-ups. Not that I'm crazy about CrossFit, but I'm not opposed to it, in moderation. So that's what we really get to with our workouts is we want to be efficient with our time, but we also want to have intensity in that time. So when I tell you to go up in weight every single workout or your reps or the time that you have the weights under stress or tension, that is to get better. And you can't do it by going in there and just banging out the 35-pound chest press every time. And I see a lot of guys doing that at the gym. They look the same. I mean, they have muscle, but they're not really growing. So that's kind of my thoughts on pull-ups, I guess. So, Rich, why don't you tell us a little bit about your overuse injury?
Yeah, that goes back to, just thinking that I had to do 45 minutes to 60 minutes on cardio. And my equipment of choice was the elliptical machine. So it worked, but really, I mean, I lost weight when I did this. This was back maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But the outcome is that I ended up getting that mild case of plantar fasciitis in my foot. So,
which that one is a really tough one to get rid of.
Oh, it took me a while.
I have a friend who's a spin instructor, and she has great trouble with it because, I mean, she's always doing spin class, and she teaches spin class, and I mean, she's in a walking boot half the time that I see her.
Yeah, I found for me, it was more of like, you get this injury in your bottom of your foot. So you're thinking, well, I need to stretch and do things in that area. But it really come to stretching my hamstrings and basically my hips, just everything that you would think that didn't tie into that area needed to be stretched better. And I'm guilty of it. I hate stretching. But since then, it's one of those things that just becomes a ritual that I have to do. Otherwise, I end up just getting really tight. My lower back starts to get tight as well. So all these injuries that come from it, if I don't stretch after my workout.
And what's funny is, Rich, this is not uncommon to people that don't stretch. Even just getting in and out of a golf cart. When I worked at Oak Tree and we were in the cart barn together, how many golf carts would we pull out on a Saturday and with two courses full?
Yeah. All of them, 180.
You think about getting in and out of golf carts maybe 1,000 times in one day. Okay, think about that.
That's a lot of shots.
You're not alternating sides when you get out of that golf cart. You're getting out of one side of that golf cart. Okay, so when you start your downswing, also, it's primarily your left side, right? Yeah. And back when I used to hit 1,000 balls a day, my left side of my back was visibly bigger than my right. My girlfriend's pointed this out to me, Rich. So what I'm saying is like your everyday life can give you overuse problems. And another thing that we've built into our workouts are stretching routines. And, we have a couple of different things. We have dynamic stretching, and then we have static stretching, and we have pre-round warm-ups. We've got all kinds of stuff inside of the members area if you're interested.
It amazes me still to this day how many people don't stretch or warm up before they hit balls. it's staggering. It's like every time I go out there, it's like you very rarely see someone stretching before they're round or just stretching before hitting golf balls on the range.
Yeah, and most people do it incorrectly because
Do you think it's still? Yeah. Do you think it's still like I'm embarrassed to do this in front of people? I mean,
I think so. Who's going to look like the most interesting man in the world?
I mean, I've seen a clip where he demonstrates it, like everything that he does and why he does it, and I was like,
I think he's just brilliant. I think he's just eccentric. He knows he needs to do it, and it makes him more competitive. I mean, who can argue with the results? How old is he? 50 years old,
yeah,
and he won a tournament on the European Tour and on the Senior Tour. I mean,
yeah.
Davis Love might be able to pull that off too. But
Yeah.
you look at Davis Love, he's in excellent physical condition. I mean, he is in great shape, and he's still got one of the best golf swings of all time, I think.
Yeah, and clubhead speed's still there too. So I mean,
And he's only able to achieve that because he's flexible, he's strong, and he's not overweight. So, I mean, if you address those three things, you're going to play better golf. But, life in general is going to give you overuse problems. So if you're tight, your back hurts, it's probably because you haven't taken care of yourself. If you were to just stretch, I mean, throw out the working out. If you hate working out, fine, don't do it. But if you want to feel better in a month, just stretch. I mean, you're going to improve the length of your swing arc, just how you move around during the day.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. These golfers that are going to start the tap-in challenge on Monday are really going to, if they do the EMF, which is our early morning flexibility workout. It's 15, 20 minutes, and as soon as you wake up, you do this. And everyone that's done it in our past challenges has raved about how it changes their day, their focus, the way they feel. Just from a 15 to 20 minute stretching video. That's it.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous how well it works at waking you up. I mean, you don't need coffee after you do this thing. You're ready to go, which is
not going to stop me, but yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, you're addicted to coffee.
Hey, I just have one a day. It's not. I wouldn't call it addicted.
Ricky Trevino doesn't drink coffee. He drinks Monster.
I'm not touching that stuff.
Funny story. Rich and I were driving back from Las Vegas, and
this is before Red Bull.
No, this was when Red Bull just came out, was big. I don't think you know what's coming on this story.
All right.
So we're driving south out of Las Vegas to, I can't remember the name of the town. It's in far western Arizona.
Like Flagstaff or something?
It's even west of Flagstaff.
I don't know my geography over there.
So Rich is like, we had just played golf, I think at Rio Seco, and we had something to eat, and we had been going nonstop. This was like 1,000 miles, and how many miles did we put on that rental car?
I remember when we dropped it off, it was about 3,500 miles in like 6 days.
I think we left on a Monday, and we were back on a Saturday, and we drove
Oklahoma City to through Vegas to Los Angeles to San Diego back to Vegas and back. Yeah,
that was the mother of all trips. So we get to Las Vegas, and we had a basketball goal in our room.
Yeah, and I got the bunk bed too. Warning: if you're staying at a Holiday Inn Kids and Suites, it's gonna have a bunk bed and a basketball goal in there,
which was awesome.
Yeah, that's the downside of being shorter than you, because I get the bunk bed.
Yeah, I guess I slept in the car. But anyway, so we're leaving on the way back, and we were just wiped out. We had just played golf. It was really hot that day. Rich is just dragging, and he's just so tired. We get some Red Bull, and it was just like an instantaneous change in Rich. And I don't know if he had any before, but he drove all the way back to Oklahoma City.
I thought you were going to talk about I thought you were going to talk about the one drive. We were close to coming into Albuquerque. This is on a separate trip. This is before Red Bull, when I'd had a full night's sleep, and I was doing the driving and nodding off. And so yeah, Red Bull is when the only time I drink it is if I'm doing a long drive. That's it. I don't know what the deal is. Nothing else will cure it. If 5-hour energy, those little tubes, the Monster, nothing will do it. Just Red Bull.
I don't know, like the health benefits or
there's probably none.
or health issues that.
Issues, yeah.
I need to research that a little bit, figure out what's good and what's bad. I guess it can't be that good. People take Adderall for ADD, and that kind of helps them. Focus a little better.
Yeah, I know that there was some guy that died in Australia, but he had down 5 or 6 of them, and then didn't drink any water, didn't eat, and then he was racing like a stock car. So just that alone, your heart rate's going to get increased. So
that's totally ridiculous.
Yeah, so I don't blame it on Red Bull. I just blame it on how he just prepared for it. I think if you do a balance, and that's what I've found, I'll have a Red Bull and I'll have two bottles of water. I think that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend a Red Bull before you play or during you play. I know AJ, who I play with here at the Hyatt, does it, but for me, I get the jitters, so I don't want the jitters when I'm on the putting green.
The one thing that I did try that I liked, and it had all natural ingredients, was the little golf fuel thing. It's similar to like 5-hour energy, but apparently it has you remember the Gatorade that Tiger Woods had for a while? That was like the Focus, and it had the natural ingredients in it that were designed to help you focus. I think it has those in it. I can't tell you for sure though, but that seemed to help me out. But back to this whole flexibility thing. If your range of motion is screwed up, you're probably gonna have back pain. You might have knee pain. You might have shoulder pain, and you wonder why. Why do you have all these things? And I can tell you, as you age, you become less flexible, less mobile. Your joints aren't used as much as they should be, and your body starts to kind of tighten up, get knots here and there, and it's a long-term overuse injury or underuse injury, basically. So just get out there and just start stretching. Do 5 minutes a day if you hate it, then work your way up to 10.
Or the 4-minute workout that I'm going to start challenging you on next week.
I have to run for 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're doing the 30-minute.
I can run more than.
I want you to do it at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because I know it's still over 100 degrees there.
Yeah, I'll go outside and get right on that. But yeah, just get out there and just start thinking about your health a little more, because it impacts your golf game much more than you realize. And I know a lot of these tour guys, they're in great physical condition, and you compare them to 20 years ago, it's a night and day difference. And I don't see a lot of heavy guys anymore near the top of the boards. I just don't.
Well, remember, I think it might have been Jason Day at the U.S. Open. This is before he had his vertigo spell, but they were talking about the option of playing 36 in one day. I think it was the U.S. Open, but so he's like, I'm fine with 36. I'm young and fit. I'm good to go. And some of the guys may not be. So that's the thing. When we went to Phoenix, last month, playing 18 and 36, then 18 and 36
in the heat.
Yeah, 100, 115 degree heat.
I thought we did pretty well.
Yeah,
it bothered us.
No. So I think if you're not in shape, 36 holes, you should be able to do 36 holes. The key is how you
in a golf cart.
It's still
if you have a break between the 36 and you have a golf cart, you should be able to do that. If you're struggling with that, then you might want to look at your fitness level. For me, I get bored with I just can't get into playing 36 holes a day. I
Or
enjoy
play
18, but after
play 54 in a day.
you could play from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed.
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of people can't, and that's a mental thing for me. But it's not a physical problem if I wanted to go do that. So if
Yeah,
you're having trouble, I mean, we call it the back nine fade. If you're struggling after 9 or 10 holes, you need to get your fitness up because that's not good.
yeah, because you're gonna drop shots, not knowing it, but if you're having that fade on the back nine, you'll start dropping shots just from whether you're losing distance, whether you're not focusing correctly, pain and ache start to creep in. There's all these side effects to it. Uh, so yeah, so I've kind of one of my measurements for seeing how good my fitness is to see how I can back up from a 36 hole day. So I like to do.
Let's back up a little bit before you started doing all of the challenges and all of the exercise programs that we've created. What was playing 36 holes like for you?
I could do it. It was the next day. It's trying to back up the next day was the problem. I could still go out and play the next day, but I felt I had, like the back nine fade for me was the next day fade.
So you would go out and not shoot that well the next day.
Yeah, that was what was happening. So, so the past 3 or 4 months, we've been doing like 36-18 on the weekends or 18-36. And I've been able to pull up pretty good. So it's always funny because when my wife's like asking me what time I'm going to be leaving, I'll be like 6 o'clock. And this is the days that I'm playing 36. She's like, what time are you coming home? I was like 6 o'clock. So it's an all day thing. So you need an understanding wife, but yeah, it's a long day. That literally is when I'm playing 36 holes.
Well, you play at a resort course too, so it's going to be a little slower there too, I would think, than a regular country club.
4 to 4.5 hour 18. So yeah, I'm usually there an hour before warm up. Just
Rich, I played the other night in 45 minutes for 9 holes. Is that a good time?
Yeah, it's not bad. I can do, if no one's out at the Hyatt, I can do 18 in just over an hour.
There was nobody on the golf course. It was 75 degrees and no wind.
You got to stop sneaking out on a Monday when it's closed.
It was Sunday. It was this past Sunday, and there was nobody out there. And I kept thinking to myself, where the hell this is awesome weather. Why is not more people out here?
Yeah, we couldn't get a tee time till 12:30 on Sunday. That's how busy it is. So it's weird how that is. It's like, we're in Phoenix in the middle of summer. Yeah, it's hot. It's dry though. I actually think it's better than out here. There's really no humidity and no one's out there playing. But then I've got the same 100-degree weather here. Course is packed. So it's like
same up here. People, it just doesn't bother the people. They accept it.
Maybe because that whole area's got 300 golf courses. I mean, maybe that has to do with it. I don't know. It just seems like,
man, I can't. I think it's a big snowbird place. So in the wintertime, it's probably a different story. Because we were playing, what was it, True North and even Dove Mountain, these empty mansions. And we were asking one of the marshals, and there's like, yeah, the guy's got 4 homes. This is his, his spring home or whatever. And maybe that's the thing, is that there's just not as many people there. Maybe that's the thing. But I can tell you, if you want to go on a golf trip and you want to save money, go to Phoenix in the middle of the summer, and you're going to save some serious cash. What did we play Verado for?
Oh, it was like $20. Yeah, I mean, it was.
And that included the golf cart.
Yeah, and True North I played both courses for 120. Dove Mountain was like 80. I mean, these Weka Par was, the going rate was 70, but I ended up getting on for like 35, which was a phenomenal track. So it's like these, in other parts of the country, you're looking at $200, $250 courses, under $80. So
yeah, and it's just, even the hotel rooms are very affordable there in the summertime. So I mean, think about it. It's not that bad. I mean, it might say it's 100 degrees or 105, but to me, I was just drinking. My thing was 2 bottles of water per 9, eat a good lunch, and I felt fine. Didn't feel
Yeah.
like it phased me at all.
Yeah,
So
and most of the courses, had water jugs on every other hole, so it was pretty good
there
setup.
was one that did, and I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Might have been Dove Mountain.
Yeah, that was it because they wanted to gouge you with the beverage cart.
Well, they got you on golf balls too, so.
They did. I hate that place. I will be making a return though. I
Oh,
want
I
to
want
play
to
the
see
cactus
this.
for Victor Dubasson.
The mulligan rate just went up to $40 a mulligan.
I'm not going to use any mulligans when I return. I've overcome I went to counseling. Went to 4 counseling sessions, and I'm okay with what happened out there.
Were you having nightmares of cactus? Nightmares of actually, like
I
everyone
would wake
complains
up and
about.
feel like I had rolled in a cactus.
You were talking about how much you hate Jack Nicklaus because he designed it. It's so unfair. It's that same talk when people play Pete Dye course, and you don't normally hear that same deal when it comes to Jack's courses. But
I don't have a problem with Pete Dye, I guess, because we played so many of his courses.
yeah,
I know
he
where
loves
to.
to play with the mind.
I know where he will reward you for a well hit shot. But it was like Jack was just like in a bad mood or something. I don't know. He was like, screw the golfers. I hate every damn golfer, and I'm going to make this the hardest golf course on earth. I actually think that course would have played easier had we been allowed to play from where the pros tee off, because the landing areas would have been better.
Yeah, but I mean, really, if you notice, all the greens were raised. So yeah, it might have changed the landing areas a little bit. I mean, we played from the tips, didn't we? We just didn't play from the box.
We didn't
back.
play from where
Yeah.
they wouldn't let you.
So the landing areas might change, but it's still going to affect. The greens are all raised, and they're not as big as you would expect for a Jack Nicklaus design. So I don't think it's going to. It may make it easier off the tee, but I don't think it's going to change much with your approach shot into the green.
No, it wouldn't change that, but you might actually get a decent flat spot.
Yeah.
By moving back a little bit, which make your approach a little easier.
Yeah.
Albeit probably 30 yards longer, but
I think going back to that trip, the key for us was making sure we stayed hydrated, but we were also stretching. And that's one of the things with most of our programs, we instill some form of fitness. And if we don't have a workout program with a challenge, there are definitely other challenges that you can look at and pull in the workout programs to do. So
yeah, I mean, you could even just scrap the challenge workout and go with core to score or shed pounds of shave strokes, which is dropping in there on September 1st.
Yeah, I should have it ready by then. And yeah, that's the thing. I mean, most of the workouts, if they're tied into a challenge, they're going to be focused towards what that challenge is for. But like we said, if you don't like a workout, you're less inclined to go work out when it's like that. So if we were to say go do that 30-minute run at 85% heart rate,
you might do it once.
Yeah, chances are you're not going to do it over a long period of time. So these workouts, we've got so many workouts in there now that if one of the specific ones for the challenge doesn't really fit with what you like or your interest level,
just change it.
Go find one of the other ones that does, because then if I can get you to work out on the core to score workout with the tap in challenge, and you can do them both simultaneously and over a long period of time, we're going to see more benefits versus if you just do one workout that you don't like or might not give it 100%. We're not going to get the
and this is something from this do over the winter time that's going to pay big dividends. So we're looking at the holidays are coming up pretty quick. I mean, they're going to be here before we know it, and there's going to be a lot of eating. There's going to be annoying Christmas TV commercials, which drive me crazy, and then those stupid radio stations that just play nothing but Christmas music. I hate that. I don't know why. I don't like Christmas music. But we're going to have all these holidays coming up. We're going to have, all kinds of things that are going to distract you from golf, and you're going to be eating a lot more. So why would you not just work out? If you miss a day, that's cool. Just come back the next day where you would be. I think, and this is one thing that we have fixed with you. It's, you would do a workout and something would come up and you would miss 3 days and you would go back to those 3 days, or you would want to restart it. And I would be like, dude, pretend like you worked out. And so today is the day you're supposed to do this workout. Just do that workout.
Yeah. It's like I said, brainwash mentality coming back into play. So now I expect a day or two that I'm going to miss. It could be, a Friday afternoon, I get off work and go play golf, and I may not have time for my workout. So I just expect that to happen. So what I do is I just jump straight back on the horse on what needs to be done that following day or the following Monday if it's a Friday, and just keep it going so that I don't have to keep this restarting cycle, or at, worst cases, I just stop and not go back to it.
It's almost liberating to take this mental approach because it reduces your stress. Oh shit, I missed this workout. It's just the end of the world. I got to redo it and restart over. Yeah. And you don't have to. I mean, just like all of our challenges they have, day one on this chipping and, go to the range and do this. If you miss that day, who cares? Just log back in and the next day that you can do it, just take off right there.
Yeah. And the other good thing is that if you do miss a day, most of like in the challenge stuff, if there's a range session, they're so short anyways that you can just add that to the day that you're on. So like if the range session is 30 minutes, just, you're going to go to the range for at least an hour anyways, most likely. So just add it on to your range session. So that way you get back right to where everyone else is at. And you can continue with the challenge, but not miss anything.
Yeah. So, what we're getting at is be realistic with all this. I mean, it's crazy to hold yourself to this high level, this professional athlete level of performance and dedication and discipline, because in the real world, we all have jobs and we have, responsibilities and things that we have to deal with, and sometimes they just cannot wait. We're not Tiger Woods with 2 nannies and a butler and a maid and a driver and somebody that buys his groceries for him and a chef. We have none of that for the most part, I would say. And you're going to miss days, and it's okay. Just pick up where you left off. Or you can go back to, if today, Monday is workout A, do Monday's workout A and forget about the past, forgive yourself and move on. It's almost liberating that you give yourself that kind of freedom. And another thing that we're talking about here is time. All of our workouts are really short on time. And like Rich is saying, you got to find something that you enjoy. So, do workouts that you enjoy. Allow yourself. You don't view what I'm saying is don't view 3 missed days as you being a failure. And I think that's what a lot of people do, especially people that are super overweight. They want to stick to a plan. They want to do it 100%. And they feel like if they don't, then they're a failure. And that's not even close. I think if you can get 70-80% compliance with your meals, your workouts, your golf programming, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. And I think that was the other thing with the eating component of it. I think, it's so hard to stay, strict on whatever diet or nutritional program that you have, that we introduced, was it 70-30 and 80-20? was it 80-20 and 90-10?
80-20 and 90-10. 90-10 is when you've met your median goal, you're pretty close, and you have those last few pounds that are really stubborn.
Yeah.
And you would go into 90% compliance, 10% you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah. And so that really, what we're saying is if you miss a day on your workout or you miss a day with your range session, it's okay. Just come back to it. And that's the same principle when it goes to your nutritional side of it is you almost need a cheat day or a cheat meal. And with the 80-20 compliance starting out, you've got 20% of your meals could be whatever you want.
Yeah. It's almost like the 10% is a rest day. It's a mental rest day because you think about the amount of brain power that you have to put into finding what you eat. So what over the years, I've adopted 2 rules. Rule number 1 is I've simplified my clothing. So I'll buy 5 pairs of the same kind of shorts.
I know that that shirt doesn't have a collar, so
yeah, I could probably play this down there at the Hyatt though, if I even cut the sleeves off too. Right? I saw a guy with a wife beater on the driving range, and nobody said a word to the guy
because they don't get paid enough to go tell him what to do.
So you can do whatever you want. So I simplified my clothing to where it's just super basic. I don't want to think about it. It just takes too much effort and time. If you get a couple of nice shirts and nice shorts, they look good. Nobody really notices. So, I mean, that saves me time. And the second thing that I did is I eat pretty much the same thing every day. I don't really vary it a whole lot. And I'm okay with that because it requires less thinking. The worst thing in the world is to go to a restaurant for me. I hate it because they give some of these places, like you go to the Cheesecake Factory, I think my brain is going to explode. It's like reading a phone book.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So, I simplified it, and I think maybe if you do that, you might have a better success with your eating. So, I mean, I guess what we're trying to get across to you is, you don't have to be so balls to the wall like everybody says you have to. You can get really great results by enjoying yourself. You're actually enjoying the workouts, which means you're going to do them. If you hate them, you're not going to do them or stick with them. Give yourself some flexibility. If you miss a couple of days, who cares? I mean, just pick up where you should be. And then on time, you don't have to spend an hour and a half working out. You just don't. Just make it intense, make it quality, and always go up in weight, reps or time under tension, or your intensity level. So, Rich, you have anything to add? Oh, and flexibility. Make that a priority, even if you're not going to eat right or exercise, because it's going to help you. You're going to feel better, I promise you. So I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, that's everything I would cover.
Yeah, so I think that's it. And then, take a look at our website here in a few days. We're going to put up these references so you can see them, and we're going to talk about why we hate cardio so much, maybe in a article on the website. So I'm joined by Rich, our tame golf pro, aka Ricky Trevino. I don't know. Are you wearing white shoes today, Rich?
I don't. I got my black sneakers on too.
That's crazy. I don't think you're wearing any pants under that desk.
No, I do have pants today.
You stand up, a 2-headed kangaroo pops out.
Yeah, Chris sends me this picture of a 2-headed kangaroo, but I honestly think the baby one's just in the pouch and it's just taking a little look.
Hey, if you want to see the picture, go to Greg Norman's Twitter, and he's the one that I think retweeted it or tweeted it out. And there's a pretty funny picture.
Twitter account. It's pretty cool.
Yep. So I'm Chris, and joined by Rich, and we thank you for listening to us blabber on for over an hour about why we hate cardio.
Well, it's a topic that, took 5 or 6 years for you to, knock into me. So it's something that, it's going to take some time.
It did take a while, but you've got it now. And
Yeah.
I mean, you look better than you have in a long time, to be honest. I mean, you've lost how many pounds?
I'm at 45. But I still got a long way to
Huge.
go, but
I
yeah.
lost 40 when I started this method, and I look pretty damn good. I'm gonna put that picture up so all the world can see it. You probably Google it; it's everywhere. Put it on everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week with another entertaining podcast.